Hi, I'm Rupert Booth.
I am known as Paul Ferry.
And my name is Barry Williams.
Together, we host Time Ram.
Time Ram's a cruel mistress.
It's a random number generator.
That also.
We roll a number from 1 to 13, and that's our doctor. Then 1 to 300 for the story, and then we ram them together.
Even if it doesn't make sense.
Cruel, I tell you.
Time Ram, putting the wrong doctors in the wrong stories, so you don't have to.
You're listening to Doctor Who Gives a Fuck, a drunken Doctor Who podcast for the end times.
Hello and welcome to Doctor Who Gives a Fuck, a drunken Doctor Who podcast for the end times. This is JB in New Orleans.
This is Sean in Austin.
This is Chris in Springfield.
So we have gathered here today not to bury Doctor Who, but yeah, we're going to bury Doctor Who tonight. Yeah,
we're kind of going to bury something else tonight.
I think we are. Yeah. Yeah.
I think Sean's horny.
No,
not that.
I mean, usually I am, but no, not right now.
Sean's horny.
No. We're not really going to bury it. We're actually not going to set it on fire and emulate it or anything like that. But I think we are going to put something to bed tonight.
You know what we're gonna do at the end of this episode? We're all gonna get hit in the head with a golf ball, and we're gonna wake up and it's the Who 37 podcast.
Oh God! I'm gonna wake up and
I started watching that fucking show last night. I think it's brilliant.
I'm gonna wake up in a fucking closet in Chicago. Jesus fuck. Yeah, we're going to discuss the last 4 episodes of Disney Who season 1, and that's what I'm going to call it now. It's Disney Who.
It's Disney Who. It absolutely is.
We'll see, but okay.
But first, I think we need to say a few words about William Russell.
Oh yeah.
Who since we have last recorded, he has shuffled off this mortal coil at the age of 99. He was so close to making it to 100.
Yeah, it's okay. You know what? When I'm 99 and I feel like I don't want to be around anymore, I'm like, fuck it. I don't need to be 100, and I'll just die. That's how he was. Yeah, that's it's the type of thing. Like, am I surprised? No. I mean, it's 90 fucking 9, but it's still sad when something when something like this happens.
It's part of your. I mean, I won't say childhood because I wasn't watching Doctor Who until I was in high school.
Especially not him, but
right, yeah.
So yeah, and I remember. I'm glad that I got to see him that year at Gallifrey, and he actually was a really great guest. He told a lot of cool stuff. Like, they actually called him Russ on set, I think, and then they would call Hartnell Will. Mm-hmm. Because you never realize this really, but they do have the same first names. So
they do, yeah.
Very sad, very sad. Big question is, Who's next?
Yeah, well, I mean,
we'll see. Okay, we don't want. That's mean. No. That's mean.
That is mean. You said the same thing on Mostly Cardinals Cutaway. I heard that episode today, and they were.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Gosh. That will give away some spoilers. Okay.
No, we already talked about. I think it was the 73 yards one, which we've already talked about. So
yeah. Okay, the last one we recorded was Rogue.
Okay, no, they just put out the one for 73 yards today. Okay. So yeah, so we've got so they're like 2. Well, I mean, Yeah.
I yell at Josh and Eric watching, about Rogue. Not so much Eric, but more Josh. Yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear that. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to hear that. And yeah, Caleb actually mentioned, like, you made a reference to Project Runway, which completely went over everyone's head. And you said, well, yeah, JB and Chris would appreciate that. I understand.
I have no memory of this.
And then Caleb's like, when are they coming on the show? So, okay, well,
yeah, ask him.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, I am definitely game. I mean, okay, I'm not going to bury the lead. This is probably going to be the last episode of Doctor Who Gives a Fuck that's going to come out for quite a long time, because I'm not going to bury this. I have had it with the show, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'd rather talk about something else, and we'll get into that in a little while. But I mean, I'll happily guest on other people's Doctor Who podcasts as long as we're not talking recent Who. I have really no interest in talking about this past season of Doctor Who. I certainly don't want to talk about Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who. Disney Who, or any of that. If you guys want to have me on and talk about a classic, yeah, I'll be right over. But yeah, so we'll raise a glass to William Russell, Ian Chesterton.
Yeah.
Bacon and eggs.
Sir
Yes.
Ian Chatterton,
Yes.
salute you.
Yes.
And your school tie.
And your fucking tie, you beast.
Can I bring up something? This is current. And
Okay.
it's Doctor Who related, and it's
Okay.
classic Doctor Who related.
Okay.
Do you guys buy? I know we've talked about this before, but do you guys get the animated stuff that they do of, like, the Hartnell and Troughton missing episodes?
Oh, yeah. I get them every time they come out.
No, I don't. I had Power of the Daleks. I watched it a few times, and it says, like, I'm not going to watch this again.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, a lot of that stuff is available on Tubi. You can watch. I think most of that is available on Tubi. So if I ever get a itch to watch any of those, I can just put on Tubi.
I have, like, a lukewarm relationship with those programs. I mean, the one that I remember we did for the TARDIS Tavern was Power of the Daleks.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 6-episode story with basically nothing but Daleks in it.
Right.
So the animation isn't going to be that great. I'm glad they're doing it. I encourage them to continue doing it. But, I'm never exactly blown away. But then
I like it, though. It's so much more palatable than the fucking the telesnaps.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
remember like paying $30 or something back in the day and waiting for it to get in the mail for like a month.
Oh,
and then
God.
this little VHS tape comes in the mail and I pop it in. I can't wait. But I'm going to make an exception. The last one that came out was the Celestial Toymaker.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking fantastic. It is probably
awesome.
Yeah, it is so good. JB, check this out. I listened to the Celestial Toymaker before.
Okay.
And it wasn't shit, but it was like, this is going to be a lot better visually.
Yeah.
It's great. The animation is, how do I describe it? It's trippy. They use different types of animation for the different, I don't know what you want to call them, entities that the toy maker, brings up.
Okay. So it's kind of like watching heavy metal.
I am highly intrigued here.
And there's also, I don't know how I got to be a Doctor Who fan for years and years and never knew this, but apparently they dropped the N-word in it, and they removed that.
I heard about that. No, I heard about that. I read about that a while ago. That there was they dropped the N-word.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
In the Toymaker.
Yeah, I think it's like I think it's like 10 little Indians, but it used to be known as 10 little N-words.
Yes, it's something very similar to that. And if you're watching it, I think it's the King of Hearts who says it. Might be the Queen of Hearts.
I must have never seen an unedited version then, because I heard someone in a comment once say something about, like, ask if they removed the pejorative from Toymaker, and I'm like, what? Did not recall that.
I don't remember hearing it when I listened to the audio story, so I don't know if they took it out for that. And I'm getting conflicting stories about how exactly the word is used. First of all, it's not okay to use that word, but it is used in a way. I heard it was eeny, meeny, miny, mo, like somebody uses that rhyme and trying to switch
catch an
gears.
N-word by the toe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I heard that somebody apparently uses the term N babies.
Oh.
But the meeny, meeny, miny, mo makes more sense because of what they're doing in the story. But I don't know. I think it's stuff like that. It's not mean. It doesn't come from a place of hate. It comes from a place of ignorance. And it's just so fucking dated. I just kind of like that kind of stuff up.
I remember I was doing an episode of my Batman podcast. I was reviewing a comic issue from like the 1970s, and it's an episode where like Batman is breaking into prison to save this one prisoner because he's going to like testify against the mob or whatever. And there's a prison riot, and it's led by this black guy. And on one of the panels, he uses the N, and it's uncensored.
Batman does?
No, not Batman, but this character, this black character, is like, oh, what's one more dead N-word to blah blah blah. I don't know the context of it.
I don't know.
What's their word?
That's interesting too, because I think in the 70s you would often see the word used by a white character to sort of reflect their ignorance, like, oh, they're a country bumpkin or whatever, or like In the Heat of the Night, or I was going to say James Bond, but I don't think that the character I'm thinking of uses that word in that movie or the movies. But all right.
But I was really taken aback by that being printed, in a comic book written by a white guy. I mean, if they were to ever like reprint that would definitely be taken out. But this was I actually got because what I use there's a website that I go to that has like scans of like all the old comic books. Yeah, that was printed in a Batman comic book. I was really taken aback.
All right, shall we begin?
Yeah, speaking of casual racism, yes.
Shall we begin?
Speaking of casual racism, let's start up with Dot and Bubble. I really don't have
interesting.
Yeah, well, I really don't have that much to say about this episode at all. I mean, I didn't like any of the characters at all, especially the main character. I was actually rooting for them to all be eaten.
Yep, same. I was going to say this is probably the first episode I could think of where I kind of hope the Doctor didn't get it done. I'm like, I'm comfortable with all these people getting eaten by slugs. I'm okay with this.
Wish granted, I guess, huh? Because I actually really like this.
I'm not saying it's a bad episode. Yeah, it was clever. Apparently this was actually written by Moffat, not RTD. Originally, this was originally supposed to have been a Matt Smith and Karen Gillan episode.
I could see that.
Yeah. And then I think Moffat took it and reworked it. Basically, the twist at the end is that they're all freaking racist. And it's
what?
Like, yeah. You didn't catch that?
No. Wait a minute. Are you saying that they don't want to go with the Doctor and his TARDIS because they're all racist and they're all very what's the Teutonic Aryan? Because they all kind of are.
Yeah, they kind of are. And like it's like I can take you away in the TARDIS, and like she refers to it as like some kind of voodoo stuff.
I think that's fast. Okay, I never picked up on that, but I'm the one like wondering about the N-word from Celestial Toymaker.
Yeah,
but I think
I looked it up while you were talking, and it was the catch a tiger by the toe, and apparently the UK edited it to say tiger.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I really didn't like her either. What was her name? Lindy?
Yeah, I don't know. Not worth remembering.
The guy, September Steve, or whatever his name is, I couldn't stand him. He was so ugly. There was something about him that I just found so completely repulsive. And I'm like, why does she like him? Why is she into him? And then she kills him, and she doesn't tell anybody. And I'm like, fine, bitch, you got what you coming for. You know what? What I do not like is the feeling that this is somehow going to be picked up later on.
Oh God, no!
Series.
It's not going to be picked. Nothing's going to be picked up on, and that's my major gripe with this season. And I'll get to that later on.
We'll get to that later on. And it is mentioned, but I mean, there's not like a thing where they open a door and all of the Aryan racist people are behind the door and they're like, oh, we lived after all. No, I'm pretty sure they all died.
Oh, yes, the sky was full of diamonds.
I am going to give a huge a huge shout out to the cover of Itsy Bitsy Tiny Polka Dot Bikini song, though. I like that. That was pretty cool. As well as that opening.
I don't remember that at all.
She's listening to the song while she's sliding through all her squares, and the camera zooms back, and we realize that there's one of those tractators in her room watching her just for a split second before it cuts to the credits, because they are tractators. I mean, what the fuck? Anyway,
They don't say that in the episode, do they? They're not supposed to be tractators, right?
No,
I
don't
get it.
think
they
are,
totally look like.
But they're very, very similar. They're just kind of very sluggish and very CGI. And
they could be that thing from the Twin Dilemma. I don't know. I got to stop trying to.
Oh God, Melkor, yeah.
Yeah. But what I don't like about it, and I think this may have been on purpose, it had a very Black Mirror feel to it.
That's what everyone was saying. It was very much modeled after a Black Mirror, a typical Black Mirror episode. That's what I've heard. I've never watched the show, so I'm not familiar with it. I couldn't say anything about it. But that's what I heard.
It was like Black Mirror done poorly.
Yeah. No, there's an episode of Black Mirror where there's a lady who looks not unlike the lady in this episode. And everybody is obsessed with social media. Like if you buy a coffee from someone, you have to give the barista a +1. Things like that. Everybody's obsessed with getting as many.
Everybody rates each other.
Exactly. Yeah. And then she meets somebody who isn't on that grid at all, and her eyes are opened and blah 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 blah. But never seen an episode of Black Mirror. There's some really dark stuff out there.
Okay, one
Don't watch more than 2 episodes in one sitting.
Yeah, one word show at a time for me, guys. That's all I can take.
No, I know.
But and then there's the point where she basically dismisses the doctor's DMs, and then Ruby comes in, and she's a nice white Aryan blonde girl and everything, and then she finds out that she and the doctor are actually in the same space together. And it's like, oh my God. And that sort of you look back on that, it's like, oh shit, she was she had that
wrong.
reaction.
I didn't really pick up on that, but shit, you're not wrong, dude. That was totally there.
Yeah, that was totally there. But
Holy
I
shit.
I didn't catch it at first, but when she said the voodoo line about the TARDIS, it's like, oh fuck, hell, they went there.
I wonder.
Wow. But it was. I want to say that. I want to say that this was a good effort, but I will never watch this episode again because number one.
Shit. Did you almost say shit? No. I'm never going to watch this shit again.
Well, no, I don't want to say it's shit. I don't want to say this episode is shit. I'll wait. Just wait.
Okay.
Just
all
wait.
Right. Okay.
But
right.
I mean, this episode.
Coming.
It's coming. It's coming. It's not coming pebbles. It's gonna be like the fucking sandworm from Dune coming out. But
I mean, this sandworm Dune coming out of me sometimes.
This episode was well done, but I will never watch it again because I don't care for these characters at all. And I was actively rooting for them to all die, and they will eventually die because they wouldn't take up the Doctor's offer to get them out of the planet because the TARDIS is some weird voodoo shit, and that is a very racist thing because it's like I live in New Orleans, and there's a lot of misconceptions about voodoo. And I have a friend, Orion, who does walking tours of New Orleans. He does mostly like ghost tours. He'll do cemetery tours, and he'll also do voodoo tours. And he'll like upfront say, look, this is, this is not about your typical, voodoo shit that you see on the movies, because that a lot of stuff is appropriation. A lot of it is very, very racist. And I'm here to tell you that there's, it's something that you have to respect. And
is Orion a published author?
Orion? No, he is not. No, he's not.
Okay,
he's not. But he does a podcast called Shadowcasters, and him and his wife actually write ghost stories. They're like audio dramas.
Okay.
I've not heard it, but I actually acted in one of the episodes. I had like a very bit part in it. It's called Shadow Carrier, so you should check that out.
Is it similar in tone to Reality Bomb?
No. This is all fictional. This is basically like fictional audio dramas.
Okay. All right. Okay.
There's music and sound effects and
Cool.
acting and everything.
That sounds very, very accomplished.
Yeah.
And I could never do that.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done
like a lot of fucking work.
It is a lot of fucking work. Well, I mean, he's probably got like a team of people that does like all the various things. I mean, I've done it. I've done a couple of Batman audios where I've done everything, and that takes a hell of a lot of work. I mean, Chris, you've kind of done something similar with your book thing. But basically getting back to the point here, I mean, voodoo is something you don't really want to trivialize, and just the way that she used that term was very racist. And
I would agree. Yeah.
So I mean, that was kind of a very striking moment for me. But I can't watch this again. I have no interest in watching this again.
Okay. We will put this away.
I think I actually like this episode a little more now that you've explained this to me, because I was missing that context.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I see it, the episode makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, because the doctor.
That's why I wanted all the characters to die.
Right, exactly, because they're fucking racist. And I mean, the doctor's almost visceral reaction to them. Okay, they're just going to throw their life away because of the color of my skin. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I took that as, and admittedly, I only watched the episode one. I only watched all of these once.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do a retour, and I got like 20 minutes into Dot and Bubble, and I was done.
Yeah, I'd be like, well, I'm going to go masturbate now. That sounds more interesting.
I think I did.
Watching
if that's any.
For those of you who don't know, we're all 13-year-old boys inside. There's a 13-year-old boy whenever he tries to get out. Anyway. All right.
No, I just have to watch something
make it weird.
I'd have to watch something else first and then masturbate, because I mean that would have just like, if I had to try to do it after watching Dot and Bubble, there's no fucking way. I'd have to like.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't masturbate to Dot and Bubble, but you would.
No, but I had to have palate cleanser first.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Palate cleanser. Scare quotes.
What is that gonna be? What do you have? Big Bulging Babes, Part 13. There's my palate cleanser.
Oh, dear God in heaven. Oh, my God.
I don't, give the doctor some kudos on that episode, too, when they're like, can you just drop your bubble and look 10 feet to your right? I don't think so. It's like, then fucking die, bitch. Don't care.
Oh, my God. If this was Capaldi, he'd be like, fuck you all.
Right?
What the hell with you?
Clara, let's go.
Fuck these people. Let them get eaten by slugs.
Yeah, exactly. I would imagine, I can only imagine how the Matt Smith and Karen Gillan version would have been like.
That's very interesting, because then you wouldn't be able to have that racist issue in there. Unless you had, like, the Doctor and Bill. Doctor and Martha. I don't know. Not that Will Smith, Jesus Christ. Not that Matt Smith
take a drink, folks.
is exactly Aryan himself, but
yeah. And if it'd been Karen Gillan, Ginger is an anagram.
It is?
Oh my god.
Ah, yeah,
That's
you
a
just got
fact
it.
that I'm never going to be able to forget now.
Yeah.
Dear.
Thanks, Chris. That's great. That's
You're
great.
welcome. I am here to. Do you want to know do you guys know where vanilla comes from?
We covered
Artificial
this
vanilla?
already. We covered
Did
this
we do
already.
that? Did we do
yes,
this?
we did.
Okay.
We did.
All right.
I think we did, yes. I don't remember what it is.
We did. No, we did. No, we strapped beavers to the soda fountains in the 1950s, and we drank out of their asses directly.
Yep. Beaver ass.
All right, let's move
Beaver
on.
ass, boys and girls.
Let us move on. Let's talk about Rogue, and not the X-Men character played by Anna Paquin.
What is the name of the character? Because for a hot minute, I was afraid that Rogue was going to be the space bounty hunter that we were introduced to before the season came out. So is this the same person?
The space bounty hunter.
The lady with the weird glasses.
Oh god, no, that was Doom.
The multimedia character.
That was Doom.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
All right.
god, that thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Did they go through with that? Did that happen?
I guess it happened. I don't really know. I don't give a fuck. But I don't know. Ask Verity.
All right. I guess I'll speak first. I guess
yes.
I don't know what the fuck. Out of the 4 episodes, except for one moment, I think that this is probably the best one. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you that if somebody gave me a script for this and I perused it, I'm not saying I sit down and took a gummy and really read it, but I mean perused it. I'd be like, there's no fucking way you're going to make this. You cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot make the Doctor basically go and have a meet cute. It's just not done.
Mm-hmm.
And a meet cute with in romantic comedies, whenever the couple meet, it's a meet cute. I hate that term. I shouldn't have used it. I'm sorry.
No, but it's accurate. But it's very accurate to what happened, because I don't know about you. Okay, I will admit that I felt uncomfortable with that whole situation, and it's not because of the gay thing. I don't give a fuck about the gay thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
not
don't.
the gay. I agree, it's not the
but
gay.
I think that it's the whole. We're Gen X old farts, Doctor Who fans. I don't think I'm ever comfortable with seeing the Doctor
being overtly sexual.
Yes, exactly. Or
that's my problem with it.
Yeah, being in any romantic entanglement. The TV movie with Paul McGann, that was innocent. He was still in his regeneration haze when that shit happened.
I think it still works. I'm sorry. I love that scene where he's in Rogue's spaceship, and the music plays. I can't remember the song that plays.
That was the flirting was fucking fun. There was some good flirting going on there.
And no other character or no other actor could have pulled that off. Maybe David Tennant because he's young and handsome. But you just can't do that with, Sylvester fucking McCoy or certainly not. Well, no, they kind of did it with Peter Capaldi in River Song, but it worked for me. I felt it was really organic. I felt I like the idea of a race of creatures that is going to kill the human race by cosplaying them all.
Oh god, that was kind of stupid.
But it is stupid, and it's not going to work. But they don't know that because they're just a bunch of bird brains.
Literally.
And I don't know about them looking like birds.
They do kind of hit you over the head with shit, don't they?
I tell you what, though. I found them annoying as fuck, but I also kind of was really kind of laughing inside because I think they were taking the piss out of cosplayers.
Yes, they were. Absolutely, yes, without a doubt. I love the fact. I also thought this was probably Millie Gibson's one of her best performances.
I agree.
She spends obviously a lot of time she spends alone without the Doctor there. There is a scene where she's eavesdropping on the couple, or they're not a couple, but the man and the woman in the library, and books fall on her or something. And I thought that was great. I thought that was hilarious how she played that, and keep bringing up Bridgerton because I've never seen an episode of Bridgerton.
No, neither have I.
that's what people are going to go to. That's going to be their go-to. For me, it's Downton Abbey, but now it's Bridgerton.
But we're
yeah, for the most part, it was okay. Yeah, and I hope we never see this character again. I know he's supposedly dead, but he'll
100% be back.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
Kind of
I don't know,
busy
but
now,
all I can think of was second-rate Captain Jack.
Right. I was kind of thinking that myself. Actually, I would say he was a little smoother than Captain Jack.
Oh, yeah,
I agree.
Captain Jack Captain Jack has no subtlety at all whatsoever.
I think Captain Jack is a bit much, even for me. I don't even know if I want to have him around. I say that now, but I think this guy's nicer and better than Captain Jack.
Captain Jack, Rogue is
absolutely.
Rogue is a little more, I think, self-aware, a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Let's be honest, a little hotter.
A little more humble. That's the word I was looking for. He was a little bit more humble, a little playful. I can see why Ncuti's doctor would have been attracted to him. But I just thought, okay, the whole thing about him getting entangled so quickly into, I don't know, it was a little uncomfortable because it's like I don't. We've never really seen the doctor just being that casual.
Right.
With his sexuality. Not even with River Song.
That's always all the previous editions of the Doctor have never, and I have absolutely no problem with the Doctor being gay. That's perfectly fucking cool.
Yeah.
But the Doctor being that overtly sexual is just, that's not very Doctor Who at all.
Well, I think they have gone there with River Song, especially with comments that she's made, like, "Ooh, two of you, ooh, sounds like fun," or something. Yeah,
but that was River Song making the comments.
Yeah,
it wasn't
exactly.
the Doctor making those comments.
No,
and in
exactly.
this episode, the Doctor was just straight up oozing fucking sexuality, man. The Doctor was just straight up coming on to this fucking dude.
Yeah,
and that's just.
But what about
that's just very unusual.
In his first episode, when he and Millie end up at a bar, and he's dancing really sexy on the dance floor.
No.
I mean, you have to throw. That is completely. Oh wow, okay.
Okay, that is a valid interpretation of this Doctor is going to be more overtly sexual than any Doctor, and that's one of the things that makes him unique. And
even it really should have been William Hartnell, please.
Well, according to Lord Zymon, that was William Hartnell up there with his ass on the dance floor.
That's a perfectly valid point, too. I did, but.
Oh my giddy aunt. But I don't think any of us really like the idea of the Doctor. We always thought of him as asexual, from the classic series. And
much, yeah.
And the whole thing with him and Rose, that was like, okay, all right, I guess it's 2005, 2006. I guess we're going to have to make this more modern and everything. And he just went through the Time War, and he's not all together and everything. Those are just excuses, really. It made it interesting. I agree with you, Sean. I think this was the best episode of the whole series for me. I would note that this was not written by R. Russell T. Davis.
That's right. Yes. That's excellent to point out. Yes.
Who did write this one?
It was a couple of women who wrote it. I don't have their names in front of me right now. But one of them, I think, was a writer for Loki. And she also wrote for Sex Education, so she's used to writing. This was probably a tailor-made script for Ncuti Gatwa because she's used to writing for him on that other show. I do have a complaint about, I don't know if it was the writer or if this was Russell T, who inserted the bullshit about having the Shaka Doctor included with the floating heads of all the doctors when he's
What?
like, you didn't catch that?
Doctor was no, I did not.
Okay, when he's like showing Rogue like all his past incarnations,
Shaka Doctor was in there.
the Shocker Doctor, and I'm sure a lot of people watched that was like saying, why is Dr. Simeon there? So
I did not catch that.
I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it at first watch. I read about it afterwards, and I watched. This was like the only episode I watched a second time because Darlene fell asleep in the middle of the first viewing, so I had to watch it again with her. She thought that the bird people reminded her of the Slovene.
I agree there.
Mm-hmm. There was definitely some parallels.
They remind me a lot of like a very annoying version of the Family of Blood.
Yeah, this is true.
You know, so
but it's kind of okay because that's the excuse me. Pardon me.
Cheerio, old chap.
Yeah, but they're not like the main point of the episode.
No, they're not. They're not at all. No.
Did anybody else notice the anachronistic adding of Billie Eilish to the soundtrack? Eilish?
Eilish.
I'm not familiar with her, but I did appreciate because when Ruby had her fight scene with the bird lady, they did have like a period version of Poker Face by Lady Gaga. I did pick that up. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In the scene where the doctor meets Rogue on the balcony, the orchestra is playing. I don't remember what the song is because I'm not a music person, but it's Billie Eilish, and I only knew this because the subtitles were on.
It was Bad Guy.
Bad Guy. There you go. I was going to say Nasty Guy. Okay. But it's interesting, huh?
Yeah, apparently they took like a few like popular tunes and reworked them into the period, and that was the Lady Gaga song was the only one that I recognized.
How very Moulin Rouge of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. I kind of thought it was a nice touch, actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I really did like Shooty Got was singing Pure Imagination. That warmed my heart.
Yes.
As fucking Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka, that was Doctor Who for me. He was the template of. I think he has a bit of Tom Baker and Paul McGann in that performance. And Willy Wonka's a fucking Time Lord.
Absolutely. Even in the Timothée Chalamet ones, I would still say that.
Well, I guess that means we press on to, I don't remember the name of the first part of the two-parter finale.
I believe it's called Dragging Sutek Through the Fucking Mud.
Oh, God. Okay, so, yeah,
this is going to be the one, folks.
This is going to be the one. This is, okay.
Okay, can we take a brief pause? I got to piss.
Yeah, I got to piss, too. I got to refill my drink. All right. Now, now a word from our sponsor.
We are going on a journey, a very long journey, through the world of the Target novelizations in publication order. Every week, we are looking at a new book, talking about Terrence Dicks, Malcolm Hulk, and all our Doctor Who novelization friends. Whatever you do, keep turning the pages. This is Jason Miller of the Doctor Who Literature Podcast, a member of the Direction Point Podcast Network, and you are listening to Doctor Who Gives a Drunken Doctor Who podcast for the end times.
Okay. Legend of Ruby Sunday. All I'm going to say, well, there's a few things I'm going to say about this. So after the episode aired, I stood by and said nothing, while everyone on the internet, including you two fuckers,
yep,
were just going off about, oh my God, this is
I'm really sorry.
It thoroughly.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember what I said.
Oh, I'll look it up. I'll look this fucking up.
And I remember enjoying
you bitches.
The first part, and really that reveal at the end is probably one of the top 10 moments in modern Who. I mean, it is a really good reveal.
Ooh, breaking news here, guys. I don't know if you knew this, Sean, but Martin Mull is dead.
What?
Yeah. Martin Mull. I thought he was already dead. But
no!
Comic actor of Clue, Roseanne, and Arrested Development dies at age 80.
God
I was
damn.
not aware of that.
Holy shit. He was really cool.
Yeah,
He wrote the
Martin.
history of white people in America. Oh, man, that hurts. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
this is my Martin Mull moment here. Okay, so there's an episode of Wonder Woman. He's in an episode called The Pied Piper, and he plays this rock star who plays the flute, and he transfixes all his female fans with his flute playing, and he makes them rob the box office of whatever venue he's playing. Like, he's actually singing on stage, and it's a really horrible song. But he's got his sights set on this one girl whose dad is the head of the agency that Diana Prince works at, and the girl is played by Eve Plum, who was Jan Brady on the Brady Bunch, and is so 1970s cheese you will not believe.
I have to see this.
Yeah, it's the second season episode called The Pied Piper.
That's very sad. That means the cast of Clue is also dwindling. I think he was the third one now.
Wow.
Unless you count like the cook and all that. Huh. All right. Yeah. Can I mention something? Now we're sort of in between episodes here, between Rogue.
I think so.
Because he came up on something that I watched. I want to tell you all. You don't have to watch this, but I'm going to tell you about it. I saw it on The View. Mm-hmm. But there's this documentary on Netflix called Outstanding, and it's the history of LGBTQ blah 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 plus comedians. Mm-hmm. And it starts with like how in like the 1920s that was a big thing, and then like the Depression and World War I just killed it. But my favorite part of the documentary, I thought of it because Martin Mull's in it, because he played, it's not the first gay character, but he played a gay character in Roseanne. And the guy
he did.
Yeah, the guy that he marries in that is, I believe it's Fred Willard, who was his longtime. Yeah. And they show a part of that, but they mentioned that the one thing that literally killed gay comedy, it was running strong, you could probably guess what this is, but it was AIDS. And, it wasn't just literally killing people, it was also killing, like, you couldn't get up and talk about how you were gay anymore, because the government had vilified gay people so bad. Yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I kind of realized that. But then they showed the clips. I can't fucking believe the shit that people used to say on stage about, like, AIDS and all that. They showed a clip of Andrew Dice Clay up there. He's saying, you know what? I think if you walk around with shit in your dick, you should expect to get AIDS. That's coming from hate. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then did you ever see the White House press conference when somebody brings it up? This is mortifying. It's during the Reagan era. Yeah. And don't ask me who the press secretary was. It was Larry someone. And one of the reporters asks him, are you going to talk about the hundreds of thousands of gay men who have died of AIDS? And is the White House doing anything about that? And the press secretary says, well, Bob, I'm pretty sure the president doesn't have it. Do you? It was so embarrassing to watch. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe somebody actually said that in the press. And they all laughed. Okay. Anyway, just got to mention that. It's something to check out. Outstanding, I guess, if you want to watch it.
I have found the post that Sean made. After watching Legend of Ruby Sunday.
I'm sorry.
He's been using your whole aside to fucking flame us, dude.
Oh my God. Okay, so he said, you probably don't even remember posting this.
It's like being cross-examined.
But you posted, Doctor Who made my nips go all wild.
Okay, yes, okay. It did. I completely admit it did. And I was really drunk when I posted that, and I forgot about it until the next morning when people commented on it.
Right.
But okay.
But I said nothing because I knew that there was going to be the big letdown.
Yep.
And I also kept quiet that I was spoiled that this was going to be Sutek.
Oh.
Well, you knew it wasn't. Okay, I want to be clear. Not for a fucking moment did I actually think it was going to be Susan, because they dropped that like 5 minutes into the episode.
No, yeah, I literally said
maybe it's Susan. It's like, if you're dropping it this early, it's absolutely not Susan.
I literally said no when that happened. And
dropping it early.
And Darlene's like, "Who the hell's Susan?" And it's like, okay, all right, here we go.
Well, let me show you a videotape.
Oh dear. No, I don't have to wait. They'll show it like they showed that shit later on. But okay, so I was kind of spoiled that this was going to be Sutek because I did read some rumors. It was very unintentional. It's just shit that you just kind of run into when you're online. And then they announced that they're going to do this Tales from the TARDIS special with Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson.
Oh yeah.
And okay, so on the last episode, my theory was that the big bad was going to be the master of the land of fiction.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that would have been awesome. Yes,
So-
but that's interesting.
But that theory was shot down once I heard about this Tales from the TARDIS episode that was going to be shown, because they already did a Tales from the TARDIS for the Mind Robber.
Okay.
Because that was the one that they did with Frasier and Wendy Padbury.
Wouldn't that be an indication that they do plan to bring the Mind Robber back, though? If they
Not necessarily, but why would they do another Tales from the TARDIS episode about the Mind Robber? So that was eliminated. So it's like, okay, well, if they're doing a Tales from the TARDIS, then they're going to be talking about, okay, well, this had to have been a classic episode. And then it's like, well, it's got to be Sutek then. So you guys might not have been spoiled, but I was.
Well, you weren't spoiled. You just had a theory that turned out to be right. But you're absolutely right. What you said earlier. You did also say that, well, we've got like the Maestro. There's another one that was mentioned. The toy maker, obviously. There's 4 others. There's 2 others. The Trickster, who's a villain from Sarah Jane. There's one other one, and I can't remember who it is.
Yeah, someone actually listed it all of them, and like one of them, the one that they listed that I don't think they've actually talked about at all is the Mara.
They do. That's right. That is one of them. That is one of them. And it was like a meme that someone generated, but he does mention them. Who mentions it? I don't even know who the fuck is it. Sutek that mentions it. Anyway, I like that idea that all of these villains that are so omnipotent and so much like the villains that you always see in the New Adventures, that they're somehow linked or that they're a quote unquote family. And JB,
like the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, you actually alluded to that when you were talking about the Mind Robber character. I can't remember his proper name.
The master of the land of fiction, yeah.
Yeah, that he would fit in there too.
He would, yeah.
So, because you got one for music, it makes sense that you'd have one for fiction. But this has been fucked. You can't think about it any longer because it's been fucked by RTD.
One for porn.
Yeah, it's me.
No, actually, it's Katie Manning and a Dalek.
No, I command it be me. And I'm going to be like Maestro, except instead of like I don't know. Instead of an orchestra stick, it's going to be a penis pump.
Yeah, we know what it's going to be.
Yeah, you're gonna be dancing the Doctor in Distress.
But is it okay if since this is a 2-parter, if we kind of talk about both of them at the same time?
That's perfectly fine. I have nothing to say about part 1. I have nothing else to say about part 1.
I would like to say a little bit about part 1.
Okay.
I just looked up my comment and I said something to the effects of, I have to give credit where credit's due, and this one was a banger. I was so fucking excited. They were actually going with a little bit of sci-fi there. not exactly high concept sci-fi and shit, but they went into Unit, they got the special fucking machines set up and all this shit, and they weren't going down the road of, oh, well, it's all just fucking magic. I was getting really excited about that. It felt more like a fucking proper Doctor Who episode, and I knew from the get-go it wasn't going to be Susan, because if it was Susan, they wouldn't drop it on you in the first 5 minutes of the show. I'm sorry.
No.
So it's not Susan. That's a red herring, if you will. Still, when they dropped that it was Sutek, and they even showed the little thing showing the fucking anagrams and shit, and it's like, I really felt like I should have picked up on that. I didn't though.
Yeah.
And in my defense, I was really fucking high. But
but isn't that good though? Like, isn't that like, whoa?
It was, and that was probably a lot of the reason why I really enjoyed the episode, because I was just fucking baked. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I had fun with that episode. I had high expectations coming out of that. And then they turned around and just jammed them directly up my ass.
Yeah, it's like if you're watching like a murder mystery or reading a murder mystery, and you think you've got it all figured out, and then they turn around, no, you're right, it was this person. I'm like, I didn't see that coming. Fuck me. Yeah, but then,
oh god, just okay. So this is where I have to consult my notes, and I have a lot of notes here. For Empire of Death. Okay. Well, I mean, the whole thing about, Sutek having the anagram and, like, luring the Doctor, it's like, that's not fucking Sutek. He's just going to come and he's going to, like, kill everything. And why is he playing these games? And it's just, okay, so apparently Sutek was clinging onto the TARDIS all that time.
Yeah.
All along.
Until now. He was, I don't know what the fuck he was doing, and like, what happened when the TARDIS became Indris? Was he inside Indris, and, was the Doctor jealous? What happened all the times, like, when all the Doctors showed up to, put the fucking Gallifrey in the fucking or the fucking painting or whatever the fuck they did with that? But with, like, 13 Suteks flying around?
I was going to say, I guess there's half a dozen Suteks flying around, too.
And the whole thing about, like, every planet that he landed on, there's a Susan Twist out there somewhere. Okay, so he's
you'd think you would have noticed that sooner.
Yeah, he's in the TARDIS for all this time. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's biding his time. I don't know. And the one thing that piques his interest and makes him manifest himself was, who's that lady?
I don't remember what that.
Because okay, so apparently it was the Ruby's mom, her real mom, the girl in the cloak who left Ruby there at the church on Christmas Eve, and apparently this was the thing that, I don't know, got his dick hard or something. I don't know, and so he basically shows up, and apparently because he thinks that this is like a really important person, because the Doctor and Ruby place so much importance. And it's like, why the fuck would he even care about that? All he deals is with death.
Yeah,
why does he have this itch that he has to scratch?
I think, I get the idea of being excited, and getting to watch Ruby work on her Ancestry.com project. I get that. That is totally cool. What I think is completely unfair is to drop Ruby off in front of, I don't know, where were they, a Starbucks or some shit? And actually, to be fair, he told her not to do this, and she did, and I got mad. Could you imagine you are in a Starbucks minding your own business, and someone comes up and it's like, hello, I am your daughter. That's not how she sounded exactly. That's from the others. But that's rude. I'm sorry, because I've been through it before. You gotta, like, pick that moment.
Wait.
In a Starbucks, you ain't.
Wait. Do you have kids that we don't know about, Sean?
No. My dad. The one that was friends with John Wayne Gacy. Like, I couldn't even imagine, like, showing up on his doorstep or showing up at, oh, hi, surprise, surprise. No, that's just completely inappropriate. And you don't do that to somebody. They may have plans. They may need to emotionally prepare themselves for that moment.
Right.
That's so wrong. But that's the special thing that we have to have about the companion, right?
This was the whole point of. I think as far as RTD was concerned, that was the whole fucking point of the whole season.
And are you surprised? Are you surprised? I'm going to ask you this both. Are you surprised that the whole point of the fucking season just came down to 45 minutes in the final episode? Because he's done it again and again and again, and I really hate to use this analogy, but now it's like I feel like battered wife syndrome. Like, dude, I
used that analogy for Moffat.
Yeah, I totally trusted you. You had me. I hated space babies, but you totally had me. You fucking asshole. This sucks.
No,
I never got with her. With Ruby's whole character arc is like, she's kind of obsessed with finding her mom and shit, but she has such a fucking cool foster family. It's like, I can totally understand, like, wanting to do, like, as you said, do your fucking family tree project and shit. But it's like, she had a cool mom. She's got a groovy old grandma in there. It's like, she has a family. Clearly, she has a loving family. I think she might be curious, certainly, but I don't think she would be like this fucking obsessed with finding her birth mother when she actually has a pretty good home life.
Okay, well, I mean, we can't really speak of that, Chris, because none of us. Well, I mean,
that's fair.
That's kind of fair. Like, I mean, Sean might be the closest to, I mean, I guess his stepfather adopted him, quote unquote. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what happened.
But we don't know because we've never been adopted, you and me, Chris. But I mean, so we can't speak of that. I mean,
yeah, but you can. I mean, because what Chris said is right. I mean, it's absolutely normal for her. I think, even though she has a great foster mother. It's not even foster mother. Foster mother is like somebody who takes care of a kitten. She has a great
she was
mother.
A foster money. She was a foster because she fostered all those other babies, but then Ruby just she never found a permanent placing, so she just ended up staying with her and then ended up taking care of.
But whatever the technicalities are, they clearly have a really solid mother-daughter relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's pretty cool of Ruby's mom to be like, okay, if you want to go on that journey, go ahead and go on it. But there's also the idea of what if you meet this person,
right?
And you turn
out to be an absolute piece of shit.
Absolute piece of shit, or exactly the opposite, like you all but fall in love with them. I'm not talking about like sexual stuff. I'm talking about like, oh my God, you were the greatest lady ever. You are better than my mom, I think. There's always that danger. So you have to put that away in your mind. That there could be, and make sure that it doesn't get to that, especially the latter, where you like them more than your adopted dad or mom, because that's not a really good, meeting them once, probably you don't have a really good basis of judgment. But
yeah, and you're going into it meeting someone who presumably abandoned you.
Yeah, I will never forget, there was this, everybody makes fun of movies based on Saturday Night Live characters, and one that well, most of the time it's warranted, but they made one. Al Franken did a Stuart Smalley movie, and his best friend was talking about how she met her natural dad, and they went out to dinner, and then they were walking. He walked her to her car outside, and then made a pass at her. I will never forget that. And I'm thinking, I don't know anybody that's going to do that, but I know there's somebody on this planet who would make a pass at their daughter that they've just met, who's an adult. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I'm starting to go on.
Did he know?
Yes, he did, if memory serves.
That's fucking gross.
Yeah, isn't that awful? Yeah. And and this girl, because Stuart Small on Saturday Night Live, he was all about therapy. I mean, that was his thing, and it's sort of like, well, if you're kind of making fun of that, that's not really cool. Plus the gay thing, but the movie was it really kind of touched in a few points. Al Franken really knew what he was writing about sometimes, and for someone to have that happen to them, that's really fucked up. Like, yeah, you're not going to be seeing him again. Fuck your dad. Oh well.
Well, I mean, this is, but I mean, that's not. Gonna
I know
happen
this doesn't happen.
This is because this is Disney Who.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, so I actually had to laugh.
I just want to say you keep saying Disney Who. I can't agree with that just yet. I really don't know how much Disney has its fingers on this pulse.
Well, I think they've really milked the last 15 minutes of this episode where Ruby finds her mom and everything, and we have the extended farewell and then Murray Gold is up to like 15 on the Richter scale.
But you're also talking about The End of Time right now, which was also written by RTD, which suffers from the same thing that this story does. Well, no, it doesn't, because that.
Well, okay, that was okay.
It does suffer, but
I'll get to that.
Stuff.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I mean, the saccharine level is turned way the fuck up because Murray goes. Murray, yeah, exactly. But Murray, but even when Murray go, I mean, he's actually using Murray Gold the way Moffat did. It's like, okay, we got to turn the emotions up here because his scores are totally Disney scores now. They're very swooping. They're very, emotionally. They're trying to stir up emotions with you. And the problem is, we hardly know Ruby at all. We barely know this girl. We barely gotten attached to this girl. And like the whole emotional farewell that she and the Doctor have, I don't buy it all because we know she's coming back.
Do we know that?
It feels really fucking contrived.
It really does.
Wait, I thought that Millie Gibson had some sort of conflict and she wasn't coming back.
Is she coming back?
I thought she said that she was going to be coming back, but we're going to have this new companion. I forgot what her name is now. But
she's not. I mean, she's obviously not going to be the companion going forward. I mean, yeah, she'll probably pop up again at some point, like Rose did, or whatever. But
exactly. But I
mean, she's not going to be the main thing of next season.
No, she's not going to be the main focus of next season. But even if she wasn't, even if she wasn't coming back, we still hardly had any time with this character at all.
And the thing is, I like her. She's very cute. She's a very likable companion. She's very bubbly, very fucking everything a companion should be. But like you said, we didn't get to know her. It's really hard to give a shit about her because, like, I personally feel like her whole "I gotta find my mom" shit was a little bit on the selfish side. That was kind of the whole thing about her character. And it's like, I never fucking developed any kind of emotional attachment to this character, as fucking sad as that sounds. But
yeah, what's really funny?
It's like when fucking, when Sarah Jane left, I was practically in fucking tears, Yeah. And it's like when Donna's final scenes fucking broke my heart, man. Rose's
exit, I was crying my eyes out.
Rose's exit was as much as I didn't really care for Rose, it was still fucking heartbreaking and all this shit. And they, by the time they got up to Millie's to Ruby's big exit, I'm just like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
What's
really funny is that all the stuff that we said about Ruby just now, we can say the same thing about Mel.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Mel, there is.
So is Mel dead?
No. Oh God, no.
Nobody died. Nobody died.
Oh, that's right. Nobody died. Yeah,
because death plus death equals life.
Fuck.
Right.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my God, that whole scene where they're flying through a vagina and ripping it up and talking about gods, I was just like, what the fuck are you people doing?
This was the point where I started going on Facebook, not to talk about Doctor Who, but just to see. I'm like, I see. It's more.
This has got to be the dumbest resolution to a season ender that we ever had, and this is
seriously.
Okay.
I don't know. Reservation on that.
Let's see. We had so season 1. Okay, with Rose opens up the heart of the TARDIS and becomes Bad Wolf and blah blah blah. Okay, I'll take that. Season 2. I think season 2 was probably the best because at least that was based on science.
I don't remember now.
Void and her getting sucked into the void and then last minute she gets saved and all that. Yeah. That was okay. So starting with season 3, we have the whole thing with like the year that wasn't, because we had the whole year of the Master taking over the Earth, and then they hit the big ass reset button and everything like gets reset. We had the Earth being towed back into orbit. We've had knocking 4 times. We've had the Pandorica box, and we had Amy wishing the Doctor back into existence. We had the bullshit with the impossible astronaut.
I really like the Amy one.
Okay, the Amy one. Sorry. Okay. Well,
go on. Sorry.
All right. We had the fucking Claridox. We had Cyberbrig.
Oh, that was completely unforgivable. That was almost
absolutely unforgivable.
And we had Clara being brought back to life and getting her own TARDIS. We had Bill existing as whatever the fuck she is now after having her literal.
I already get nauseous from this medication. Please.
We had the timeless fucking child. Happened at the end of Flux, which I don't fucking remember. I don't know what happened.
I don't remember much about. I remember the angels were pretty cool, but other than that,
we had the Master stealing the Doctor's body, and it didn't take. I don't. Yeah, exactly.
I commend you for remembering all this in chronological order, because if you gave me a piece of paper and a pencil and put me up I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it.
Death plus death equals life.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there. I have nothing.
Yeah.
And once upon a time, if I said this, they'd be like, Sean, no, you don't understand. If you do this... I'm like, no, this doesn't make any sense. Are you telling me that Rory stood there for 1,000 years? He didn't have anything to read. He didn't have anything to watch.
He couldn't jerk off because his hand would come apart and turn into a gun.
It's like, does that really count? I know that's Moffat. That's not RTD. There's something else in this episode that I really hated that I never want to see again. And so help me God if they bring him back. I'm like 3 or 4 months behind Doctor Who magazine. I get my issues relatively late, and I don't like when the new show is on because they don't cover anything about classic Who. They always have a really nice spread on a classic episode,
Yeah.
But now it's all like, oh, David and Catherine are having a laugh and wondering why Catherine never uses any of her exercise equipment. It's a jolly good day at the filming of Doctor Who. In the meantime, John Barrowman showed his penis to only 4 people. No, I find that magazine insipid. Where's my point? I don't know.
There's something that you never wanted to see again that happened in this episode.
Oh, that kid!
Oh! Okay.
And I know they're going to have a write-up of him in Doctor Who magazine. This actor is so-and-so, and he suffers from... No, this is something I'm not going to have. I'm not going to have it. No more kids' science. In fact, no more scientists under the age of 30. Okay? This is ridiculous. I hate that trope. And you know what show did it the worst?
There's no way this little fucker's done his dissertation.
Exactly!
No fucking way.
Oh, they had one in Columbo with Robbie the Robot.
Oh, I think I actually saw that episode.
And the little boy's name was Steven Spielberg. Oh, I hated
it. Oh, God.
I hate child geniuses. We must stop this. I don't like it. But he dresses like an adult. He's got a bow tie on. He's kind of like
playing Matt Smith. He's totally cosplaying Matt Smith.
Pretty much, yeah.
I wish he was the one that was possessed by Sutek and like went around in the TARDIS, the possessed TARDIS, instead of that other lady.
You mean Mel?
No, the lady who was new. I can't remember her name.
Oh, Harbinger. Yeah, that was.
That's right, Harbinger.
Thing, yeah.
God.
Yeah, and that's I mean, the whole thing. When everyone got turned to dust, including Kate Stewart, including Rose, including the kid, and I'm saying, okay, well, first of all, okay, yeah, all right, we know where they got that from, Avengers Endgame. And then the second, I mean, it's like, I got completely taken out because, like, okay, you know they're going to hit the big-ass reset button at the end. Because there's no way.
Absolutely, yes.
As soon as they started killing off the whole world, it's like, well, yeah, reset's coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, God.
I like how Mel and the Doctor are able to outrun a Death Storm on the fucking moped, too.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to sound like grumpy old men again, and I don't really want to go out this way. So I'm going to bring up something. No, we're like the Statler and Waldorf of Doctor Who. It's the same thing.
What the fuck?
Oh man.
Something good. I'm going to say something nice. I'm going to pretend Missy was here and say something nice.
Okay.
I really liked the really subtle touch that Kate and what's his name are romantically involved.
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, you hate poo.
I don't care about these people.
What about, okay, then I'm going to move on to the next one.
And I'm not going to watch no Unit spinoff if that ever materializes.
Relax, sir. Everybody relax. Do I have to get the water sprayer? Like when Saturday Night Live does The View, and they all start arguing, and Whoopi Goldberg pulls out the spray. Quiet. That was when they didn't have any women to play them, and they were all played by men in drag. What about Susan?
What about Susan?
You didn't like that scene? I liked the scene. I like the fact that she doesn't know who he is. He knows who she is. I don't like the fact she dies like all of a sudden. Like that's it? That's how you people die nowadays?
Well, she didn't die because she gets brought back. Yeah, what are you talking about? I have no idea.
He meets Susan.
No, he doesn't. He meets someone that they all were guessing was Susan, and she wasn't Susan.
And then she
the triad lady.
Conniption fit.
The triad.
And then she has a conniption fit, and everyone's just like, "What the fuck?" And then like she's like spouting out like all this scary shit, and like starts turning people to dust, and they just fucking stand there like they're fucking idiots.
You're absolutely right. There is that. I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about when he. What the fuck did I want? Okay,
I don't know. What the fuck did you watch?
He goes back. He's on planet Earth.
Oh my God! No. Okay, yes. The whole thing. Oh yeah, the planet where like the whole story comes to a complete fucking halt. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? What does this have to do with anything?
I guess JB remembers. But because he mentioned Susan, a couple other times in the show.
And apparently she's got a baby in a crib, and the baby's dead, and she didn't remember it, and everything.
Okay,
and
that's kind of creepy.
And it's like, he needs a fucking spoon, and it's like, wait a minute, weren't there any fucking spoons in the fucking memory TARDIS? Doesn't just go into Sylvester McCoy's coat and pull out a couple of spoons?
That shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not fucking understand that. I was lost and kind of had lost interest by then. To be, that was supposed to be Susan?
No, I don't. Yeah, we don't. What?
Yeah, and like she looks at his face, she says, "Oh," and she mentions. Doesn't she mention her husband or something? Does she mention David? I don't think she mentions.
But they were left on Earth. I mean, she was not on Earth.
But they are on Earth, aren't they?
They're not on Earth. No,
they're on Earth.
They're not on Earth because when all the planets come back and they do like a roll call of all the planets, and it's like, oh, that's what that because the whole point was that the Doctor had to go to some place that he'd never been to because apparently all the places he'd been to, Sutek had already destroyed, and then for some reason this place that he went to was dying even though he'd never been there. And he was looking for a spoon because apparently he didn't go into Sylvester McCoy's coat and find a pair of spoons, for fuck's sake.
It's not a spoon. It's that spoon, JB.
Oh, whatever. What the fuck ever.
It was a spoon with a USB drive in it. They're hard to fucking come by.
Okay, yeah. Had a few granules of cocaine in it.
JB, I question your dedication to sparkle motion. Okay, no, seriously,
I don't even know what the fuck
seriously,
that is.
it's as bad as you think it is. No, if you want to, if you want to watch something with like a really good time travel in it, and it's an adventure, but it is a little bit messy, check out Donnie Darko.
Okay,
you'll have to watch it a couple times.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Watch the regular one and then the director's cut.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm saying this to people. No one ever watches what I... And then like 2 years later, hey, Sharon, I saw this.
You're right on, dude. It's a great fucking show. Great fucking movie.
It's like when I told Steve, he's done this twice now. I'm like, Steve, you got to see this show. I just started watching it this weekend. It's called What We Do in the Shadows. Oh, yeah? Yeah. And then like a little while later, Steve, I'm watching the show Kolchak the Night Stalker. Oh, okay. All right. Completely out of his mind. And then again, what has he bought on Blu-ray? Kolchak the Night Stalker, every single episode. Now he's buying What We Do in the Shadows, every single episode.
Love that show.
Don't get it is.
You're an instigator.
Totally have a man crush on Matt Berry.
So does he. He actually mentioned Toast of London, or is it Toast of the Town?
Love that show, Toast of London.
I'm like, look
fucking
at you,
hilarious.
Steve, mentioning shows, non-American shows that I've never watched. I'm very impressed.
And it is very much dry British comedy. Very much.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I've not seen it, no. You said it wasn't really available anywhere, so...
Have you seen it, Sean?
No, I have not.
I think last I checked, Toast of London was on Netflix. It's a fucking great show.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it there.
It's more in a vein of like Are You Being Served and Faulty Towers kind of.
Okay, that's
British
all I need
comedy.
to know. That's all I need to know.
Okay. Let me go through my notes here because I still got a lot here. Okay, so what was with the dramatic pointing? Because she Ruby's mom's in the cloak. She turns around. She points dramatically at something, and then we find out that she's pointing at the road sign because it's like, this is what I want you to name my kid.
Your name's Ruby. Okay. Oh, that's fucking deep, I guess.
God, I will say though that when they started like putting photos up of Ruby's mom. And the one in the center was like a much younger, was taken by a much younger actress. For like a second, it's like, oh my God, it's Lucy Bloody Miller. Because I swear to God, that was the actress who played Lucy Miller on Big Finish.
Yeah.
By the way,
that would have been cool.
If it would have been Lucy Miller, I would have forgiven this episode.
Yeah, if she turned out to be Lucy Miller's daughter, I'd have been, fuck yeah, get in.
Yeah.
I think that would be, yeah.
Yeah, you fucking brought the chakra doctor in. Let's bring in Lucy Miller too.
I got to bring you back to something you mentioned about Ruby's mom and like pointing at the sign that says Ruby and no one can see her face. You know, like she's a ghost or the Grim Reaper. Or
she's like fucking Senator Palpatine, or
First of all, that's another trope I never want to see again.
Oh God.
We've seen it since, but it reminds me of Monty Python's Meaning of Life, when those people are having a dinner party and the Grim Reaper shows up to announce that the fish has been poisoned and they're all going to die, and he does that pointing thing. And by the way, if you ever wear a cloak, which I have, you really can't resist pointing. And I just got to say, speaking of pointing and all that, R.I.P. Donald Sutherland, who points at the end of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes.
Anyway, no negative waves. I got nothing else to say about this thing.
Oh, I've got more.
Except Morris. Morris can just shove him down the toilet with his little.
You have the floor, sir.
What's with the Egyptian trappings, Doctor? Oh, it's cultural appropriation. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Doctor has a sad because he has to kill Sutek. He has this moment. It's like, okay, well, he wasn't so fucking sad the first time he fucking did it, and he certainly wasn't sad when he was Jodie Whittaker and committed genocide 3 times over.
I don't know what to tell you there.
Okay, we still don't know what happened. What the fuck happened in 73 yards? We thought that maybe they might sort of tie that in. I mean, I don't know. They reference it. We have crazy Hugh Grant, who's like the prime minister, still ends up being prime minister in the future for whatever reason, and he passed some policy that everyone's DNA had to be categorized. So that was how they were able to find Ruby's real mom.
Yeah, which they twisted into being a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, that completely made that whole episode of 73 Yards completely irrelevant.
Yeah, they did drop though the 73 yards thing though. Wasn't that the outer edge of the TARDIS's perception filter?
I don't remember.
Yes, this is correct.
I believe they said that was fine. That they did at least say why it was 73 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I kind of remember. Okay.
Because he says it's so many meters, and then she goes, "You mean 73 yards?" Or something like that.
And how did you know that? It's like, because I can do basic fucking conversions, you knob. But,
because I probably should have told you about what happened to me while we were flying around in the TARDIS.
Well, she doesn't remember
it.
Oh, she doesn't remember. Okay.
No, right. She doesn't remember it.
Yeah, it never happened. Something like that. Yeah.
Very disappointing.
It was magic.
Oh God. Okay.
You don't know. It's not magic. It's a cube. It's magic. Sean, you don't know what you're talking about. He knew exactly. They all had to defeat the Doctor, so all the monsters got together and they decided to get along for just... No, it doesn't make any sense. If you think about... Stephen Moffat's a genius! Shut up! Go cry in your hotel room.
That was all of it in a fucking nutshell.
Yeah. But, yeah, oh God.
Sean explains 60 years of Doctor Who in 30 seconds.
That'll get over 2 million likes on YouTube alone.
It would nowadays, but when Pandorica came out, you'd be I almost was crucified for having the opinion that this is not a good episode.
I know.
Nobody listened anyway.
No one has any qualms saying this episode is shit now, because this has gotten like the most negative reaction that I've seen in a long ass time.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, well, of course. I mean, I was actually listening to Radio Free Skaro. I mean, they were nitpicking this thing to death, and they were like, "Oh my God, this is so stupid." But I mean, they were still like, "Okay, we're still going to be diehard Doctor Who fans, and we're still going to And I listened to like 10 minutes of Verity, and the minute Deb said that she liked this episode, it's like, okay, I've lost any respect for you now, Deb.
I do want to add. I think it's interesting that the episode before this, Rogue. Well, I know there's this 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know what decision process was done in deciding that would not be written by RTD. I feel like this type of episode, I don't know, would I want RTD to write Rogue instead of this?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, that's the thing. We need to have new blood. We need to have new blood that actually can write and put a story together.
That's what we learned during Chibnall, and
we
didn't learn that.
My whole thing, it's like, the writing for Doctor Who, even in classic Doctor Who's always been fucking questionable, but there was just, it's fucking nonsense now. They don't even try to come up with some clever explanation for why shit happened. They just throw some bullshit at you and expect you to accept it. The math doesn't work on death plus death equals life. It's like, ow, how does that fucking work?
It just does. Shut up.
Yeah, it's just, and even going back to fucking Capaldi and the fucking Moffat era, it's, it's the bootstrap paradox. And it's like, well, first off, I don't need you to fucking explain the bootstrap paradox to me. And second off, no, the fuck it isn't. But it's just, there's no, what the fuck is regeneration anymore? Nobody fucking knows. any fucking mystery that the Doctor had has either been ruined or exploited or explained fucking badly. There's no rules. There's no continuity anymore.
There's no
none.
respect. There is no respect for the show's past. There is no respect for the show's continuity.
Right. It's like we're just going to shit on it and go. At least do us the justice if you're going to make these drastic of a change. At least dedicate a couple of episodes to like, okay, the Doctor got dumped into a fucking crazy ass dimension and everything's different now. Okay, all right. At least make it thematically make sense. Don't just start, well, we're not doing science anymore. We're doing goblins and gods.
Yeah. And we're going to throw an animated Doctor in the continuity just because it would make a good
because
Easter egg.
That makes perfect fucking sense. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, dear
there's just no attempt. It just doesn't even feel like fucking Doctor Who anymore. It feels like a shitty spin-off that I don't want to fucking watch.
Yeah. John, what did you have to say?
I don't remember exactly what it... Oh, I know what it was.
Okay.
You guys ever... This is going to sound like a rabbit trail, but it isn't. You guys ever see that movie Mars Attacks from the 90s?
Yeah.
I remember
Yes.
it. Yeah, I did see it like once and like probably like in the 1990s. I don't remember much of it, but yeah, I did see that.
There is
Very
a scene,
amusing.
The Martians have just, decimated the U.S., and you've got a group of people, like 4 or 5 people, including Tom Jones, Lucas Haas, and a couple other random people.
Like Jack Nicholson plays the president, right?
Yes, and I think Martin Short plays the vice president, or like the secretary of something or other. Anyway.
Yeah.
So you've got this small group of people running around Vegas, avoiding like laser beams and shit like that. And somebody goes, geez, if only we had a plane, we could just fly out of here. And Tom Jones, and it's actually Tom Jones, goes, well, wait a minute, I have a plane. And they're like, you do? Let's go. And they all run towards the plane. And I always thought that was funny. It's not funny when you do it in Doctor Who. Oh,
no!
You have a space-time visualizer on floor 10? Let's go! This solves all our problems. We're going to spend the rest of the episode there.
I was really disappointed that it wasn't the time-space visualizer from The Chase.
Because that's boring looking, that's why. No, it is. I mean, really.
We have a budget now. We don't have to do a fucking box with a TV screen on the side.
No, we don't. Okay, so, Mrs. Flood.
I need a refresher on that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so...
Talking about the Susan Twist?
No, I'm talking about the old woman that lives next door to Ruby and her adoptive mom.
Oh, Susan Twist.
No, you're conflating two different characters. Susan Twist. Who gives a fuck about Susan Twist? Okay, no. Let's. We talked about her. She's done. I'm talking about Miss.
I know.
They grab her. To look after Granny because Mom wants to go to unit.
Yeah, isn't she another iteration of Susan Twist?
No, she's not. We don't.
No, she's not. I thought it too, Chris, because all these old white women look the same.
Okay, so
I'm all fucked up.
Okay, so so basically my point is I don't give a fuck who she is.
Okay.
Because so they come in and she says this cryptic shit about he is coming and everything and like
why
I don't know. Well, who fucking cares? I don't care.
Well, I want to care.
Because like Granny wants a cup of tea, and she's like too fucking
give her
dead.
some goddamn tea.
Yeah, and she's like, well, yeah, I want a lot of things. I'm not going to get them, And then, and apparently, I mean, I didn't notice this at the time, but apparently she was wearing the same outfit that Clara was wearing when she got killed by the fucking Raven.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
that's what RTD said when he read about that on the internet. Oh god damn it!
And then at the very end, she's on the rooftop, and she's got the white furry coat on like Romana won in the Rebus operation. And she's like talking directly to camera, saying that Ruby lived happily ever after. But the doctor, oh no, he's got some tragedy coming up here, and like wink to the camera. Oh, how cute we are. Oh, who's this woman? Who's she gonna be? I don't fucking care. I'm done.
You gotta have a mysterious woman, JB.
I don't fucking know. I'm done. This episode broke me, man. It really did.
I thought she was just another iteration of the Susan Twist shit, so I am more fucked up than I realized I was.
Yeah. I like I said, I came out of this episode confused, and the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. I actually I couldn't get to sleep that night because I was just like, I just no.
Okay.
And here was the worst part. I felt like you did after I watched that. I'm like, I don't feel like that really made much sense. And usually when I watch Doctor Who and I have that sensation, I want to go back and look and see what I fucking missed. Mm-hmm. And usually when I go back and watch it again, I catch something I missed the first time. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. I've been through this enough with fucking Capaldi and Jodie Whittaker and fucking Disney Who now that I just had no urge to look back again and see. I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. No. I'm just going to take it as rote that didn't fucking make sense.
All right. Could we just stand back, though? Be objective. Don't think about Empire of Death. Why did they call it that? Anyway, Sutek's Empire of Death, I guess. Anyway, just stand back. Don't necessarily think about that episode. Just think of the whole series, you know, as a whole. Isn't it so much better than what we've had the last 2 or 3 years?
Okay.
No?
Okay.
No,
well,
I would not instantly go there.
Okay,
oh my gosh, you guys.
All right. Okay, guys. I mean, it's like Trump and Biden.
Right? No, he's right. He's on it.
I mean, it's better than Chibnall Who, but it's still shit. It's just a different degree of shit.
I don't know if it's going to cancel my student loans. It's
not, Sean. It's not.
Oh God! But I mean, okay, but it's just
I made the analogy to a friend earlier today that it's like trying to pick a lock, and your choices for tools are a cucumber or a turd, and it's like one of them is going to be much less unpleasant, but neither one of them are going to get the fucking job done.
Yeah. Just because something is better than something else doesn't mean it makes it good.
Right?
Speaking of cucumbers. No, shut up. Never mind.
The end of my notes is this. This broke me. I came out of this episode confused, and the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. I don't give a fuck about modern Doctor Who anymore. I mean, with all the member berries, the constant referrals and hints of past characters, all the fucking puzzle writing, all the smugness of the writing.
Yes.
The in-your-face diversity for diversity's sake. I'm all for diversity, but it's all fucking surface.
Right.
The total disrespect of continuity in the show's past. This ruined Pyramids of Mars for me. It's going to be a long time before I'm going to be able to watch Pyramid of Mars again.
And I love that fucking episode. I absolutely loved Pyramids of Mars. A lot of people love that shit. That episode.
Gift of Death.
Yeah, they just reduced Sutek to a CGI Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it looked like Goofy dry humping the TARDIS. It was fucking not cool.
If you think of it as a cat, it looks kind of cooler, but I think I could probably.
Oh man, there's someone posted this cartoon of like Snoopy as Sutek.
Oh yeah.
Like sleeping on top of the police box, and it's like, oh, this is really cute. Even fucking Dirty Whoers reposted it and said, oh, this is funny, ha ha ha. Oh, fuck off, Dirty Whoers. You know better than that. You know better than this.
I want to see what they think about this episode. It's probably not good.
No.
That graphic with the Sutek thing, and it's a dog, but it should be a cat, guys. It should be a cat. Think about it.
Agreed.
And I think it would have looked better as a cat, because to me it did look a little bit more like a cat.
For those of you who have been paying attention, I think I don't want to. I want to stop talking about Doctor Who.
All right.
We're going.
Well, that sounds good. Chris and JB. It's very unusual. I don't think you like Doctor Who very much. It's so funny. I'm doing Jiminy Glick.
Yeah, we know.
Sorry. By the way, he's hosted Jimmy Kimmel this week.
Oh dear. Okay.
Okay.
But I mean, for those of you who heard the bonus episode that I put out right after this episode, the last episode of Doctor Who dropped, because I was sort of hedging my bets. It's like, oh, do I really want to put this out, and do I, maybe we want to keep going. It's like, no. I want to continue podcasting with you two guys. You two guys have been the best. It's been an honor hosting these. We've put out 52 episodes plus how many bonus tracks that I was able to pull from what didn't make it on the show, and I want to keep going, but I just lost the passion to talk about to talk about the new series. I don't give a fuck anymore. I really don't.
My interest has just been squashed.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, my interest has not been squashed totally. I'm going to continue to watch it, but I don't care about it enough to. Well, I mean, not a weekly podcast, but
yeah. Well, I mean, this isn't. I mean, even monthly is too much of a time suck for us.
I'd seriously rather get together with you two and talk about something like Salo or 120 Days of Sodom or something like that.
Yeah.
I want to at least have something that all three of us derive joy from.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And anymore with Doctor Who, it seems like more times than not, all three of us aren't fucking enjoying it, or aren't enjoying it very much, or maybe one of us kind of does and the other two are like, fuck it. And it's just, I want, and that's kind of why I suggested the Inside Number 9 shit. It's like, let's do something we can all have fun. I don't want to be Statler and Waldorf,
No, I don't want to be.
I want to have something that I can talk about that's fucking fun and I enjoy, and that you guys enjoy, and we all fucking are having a good time watching this. But more and more Doctor Who, just fucking all three of us just seem like we're like fucking done with it,
And also there's like all the fucking political bullshit. The toxicity of Doctor Who fandom now is just overwhelming, and you can't help but be overtly political about talking about the show, which I'm not really interested in doing, and I'm not interested in going in that. I don't have the energy for it. I don't have the interest for it. I'm 56 years old. I don't really want to be involved in all the arguments and all the shouting matches online. I'm not interested in doing that anymore, and it stopped being fun, Doctor.
Yeah, I'm tired of being called a bigot because I didn't like an episode.
I mean, now, and I mean, the whole idea of doing Inside Number 9 is really intriguing for me, because I've never seen an episode, and I mean, I don't know really much about the show. I imagine that it does get into some political themes. I don't know if it does.
No.
But,
okay. No, maybe there's one episode that gets kind of political, and that's pretty much it.
The one with the proms.
Yes, the one with the proms episode. That's like, and they even made a big deal about it. They're like, this one gets kind of political, because most of them, no, we're not getting into that shit.
I don't want to get into that shit. I want to just have a good time with the show, and I'm not getting a good time with Doctor Who anymore. So, I mean, we're not shutting down completely, but we are going to, this is going to be a break. And I'm going to keep the feed up. I imagine that we're going to take some time off. We're going to workshop this new show that I hope you all will listen to. I mean, I will certainly post whenever we start this new show. I will post the pilot episode in this feed as sort of a taste, a sousance, if you will. We just got to work out the logistic of who's going to be where are we going to host the show, like the websites and the email addresses and the music, the music and how the episodes are going to be structured. So we're going to take some time to do that, and then we're going to start up the show. We'll probably do it season by we'll do a season of shows, and then if we want to go back and talk about Doctor Who, if we want to do a commentary, if when Tom Baker finally dies, we're going to do the Tom Baker episode. If we want to bring Leland back and do some games, because he's expressed interest, and I got to say I did listen to his podcast that he does with his two girls, and his two daughters are much more mature people to be on a podcast with than the three of us.
Are you going to say they're much more mature than him?
It's not a high bar.
No. And if we want to do something if Chris can't make it, maybe we'll bring in Caleb or Josh or whoever. This is kind of an end. This is an end of. It's also a beginning, and we're going to go off and do something else now. We will come, like I said, we'll come back. So don't take us off your RSS feed, or don't if you're subscribed to us, don't unsubscribe. But I mean, we're getting very little feedback. I mean, I do want to thank the few people who are vocal and who do give us feedback. Robert O'Shea, Jeff Waddell, Russell Hugo, Leland. There's probably a few others here. I do have some feedback from Robert O'Shea that they left us about the last episode. And he says, great podcast episode, guys. Weird listening to it now that I live back in Ireland. I always associate this podcast with when I lived in New Zealand. I guess I brought you guys back with me. Sean, thanks for making the almost customary mention of my name on the episode. As usual, it made me feel all funny down below, so I will throw you a few sweaty and stained $5 bills down your top.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. As for Cilla Black, her best 1980s show was Blind Date. Honestly, the dates she found on that show made me my Grindr experiences seem like a dream. No, that's not true. I just wish it was. LOL.
Cilla Black, you got to go and check her out. She's really hokey. I think Cilla Black may have been I want to be a gay icon, but I'm not quite getting there, like Tammy Faye Baker. Because she would host these shows from the 80s and, surprise, surprise. I'm not even doing it right, but yeah. That's very cool. Okay. I'll put that sweaty $5 bill to good use, sir.
There you go. You'll probably buy cigarettes with it.
I swear to God, I was just going to say that. Swear to God.
So what I did, after this was all done and all good and done, I went ahead and I updated my rankings of the Doctors. Tom Baker is always going to be number one. John Pertwee actually moved up to number two because I've been watching a lot of Pertwee, and Pertwee was a man.
Yeah,
he just exuded in confidence and swagger. And
in fact, if they wanted to, I think they could have done some of that sexy stuff with John Pertwee. But they didn't go there.
Well, he was kind of
show us your tits, love.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't count. That's not canon.
No,
That's just John Pertwee.
But he was very flirty with Liz Shaw, and he was kind of flirty with Sarah Jane, and he wasn't really that flirty with Joe because Joe, that was more of a father-daughter relationship that they had.
Also, special needs. So.
I feel like it was more like she was like, I'm not fucking you, old man.
Oh, yeah. So Jerome Pertwee is number two. I moved up David Tennant to 3 because, he's out of all the modern Doctors. I got to give it to him.
You gotta love DT.
Yeah. Sylvester McCoy came in at number 4. He dropped down from 2 to 4. Peter Capaldi at number 5. Paul McGann at number 6, because I'm sorry, Paul McGann just has the charisma. And then this is where it gets really interesting here. I hedged and hemmed and hawed a bit, but Christopher Eccleston moved up to number 7 for me because I think the performance was just excellent, and just, he was very interesting to watch. He was very exciting to watch. And then 8 went to Troughton. He kind of went down a bit for me, but I mean, I will give it to Troughton because, classic Doctor. He kind of set the template for everyone that followed. And then at number 9, I have Ncuti Gatwa at number 9.
Okay.
Because I like him, but again, his scripts are just letting him down. I mean, he's able to pull himself up and just. He's made a lasting impression on me. I just wish they would give him better scripts.
I just want to check in here on that too. It's as disparaging as I have been about Disney Who, I actually legitimately really like Ncuti as the Doctor. I think he's good. I think he's a great actor. I like what he brings to it. He brings his own thing to it for sure, and I like what he's bringing, but I just don't like the fucking stories. I just don't like them.
I just want to remind you guys sound exactly the same as when you were talking about Jodie Whittaker in her first season.
Fair.
And when I say you guys, I should say that I'm including myself in that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Jodie was, and by the way, she's still dead last on my list, but Jodie, I mean, yeah, the first year is always going to be shaky for most Doctors. It's like, okay, she's kind of getting a feel of the character and all that. Maybe her next season, she's going to get it, and she's going to actually. And I think her first season was the best season because it was like, most of the stories weren't really memorable, but. At least the end of that season didn't really shit the bed. I mean, a lot of people just complained that it was boring and it just wasn't special. And it's like, I like that it wasn't special. I like that it was just it was just a story that had a beginning and a middle and an end.
It's not so fucking special.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. And at least we had Graham there, and Graham kind of carried it. For the other 2 deadweight companions that she had traveling with her.
Yeah, that was another problem with that.
But
they were not good.
Yeah, and it wasn't like Peter Davison where, even though I couldn't stand Nyssa, with the other 2, it was kind of a good combo. With these people, it's like, oh, we're all perfect. We're all good, except for Graham, because he was the old guy.
Yeah, old white dude.
Yeah.
But after the novelty of having her first female Doctor faded, and we got to season 2, and they Chibnall decided to go all in with the continuity, and then we're going to bring this timeless child thing. Oh, and by the way, the whole thing about the whole Sutekh thing clinging onto the TARDIS. Apparently, Russell T Davies had this idea 50 years ago.
Oh God.
Now. I had ideas 50 years ago when I was 6 years old. I'm sure as hell not going to turn those ideas into any episodes of Doctor Who.
Yeah. There was a stand-up comedian one time. He's like, yeah, they say that Mozart completed his first, I don't know what it was, symphony piece when he was the age 6. Oh, yeah? Well, who's heard it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's good.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe this is a cat. It kind of could be one of those Egyptian hairless cats. I don't know. Oh, how I hate this. I'm so sorry, JB. Keep talking. I just had to be dramatic for a moment.
No, that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, and then Chibnall had to write in the Timeless Child because he wanted to write about how he was adopted, and it's like, oh God. Thank God he didn't get a hold of this Ruby Sunday character, because I'm looking at the season as standing back, and looking at this season as a whole. it started off, I mean, so badly with Space Babies, and
Oh, that's not speak. We don't speak of
no, we don't speak of that. And Devil's Court, I had issues with. Boom was okay, not very memorable. 73 yards, what the fuck? I don't even. I can't.
It could have been
even.
good.
Could have been good. It could have been, but no. Dot and Bubble, conceptually, I think was solid, but I'm never going to watch that episode again. And Rogue, I mean, even though he was a second-rate Captain Jack Harkness, and Bird people were like, Levine 2.0. That I think that story had a beginning, middle, and an end. It was solid. It felt like classic Who to me.
You're just saying that
it felt more like a real Doctor Who story. It's like, was it good? No. Was it fun? Oh yeah, I enjoyed it.
You guys are just saying nice things because I'm here and it's about gay.
No, it's not. No,
we don't even like you, dude.
No. We just have you on so
kidding. We love you, man.
Yeah, we just have you. Yeah, we just have you on because Robert O'Shea likes to, listen to you.
Robert O'Shea, could you please post more shirtless Jim pictures?
Yeah, not to the Doctor Who Gives a Fuck webpage. No.
I also want to kind of mention. We didn't mention this, but apparently Chudigatwa got on the cover of Time magazine. And he was also featured in Out magazine as one of the 10 most eligible bachelors, gay bachelors, because Out magazine. But so is Joel Kim Booster, and I fucking can't stand his ass.
Who?
So whatever. Joel Kim Booster is a beautifully toned man who has good comedy. That has made a good movie. It's hard to explain. Continue. I'm so sorry. Cut that out. There should be like an SNL sketch where people are doing a podcast and like this one guy, everything is, just cut that out. Cut that out. Cut that out.
That would actually make a good skit.
I can raise baby owls in teacups. Oh, wait, that has nothing to do with Quantum Leap. Cut it out. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Cut that
out.
Okay.
Or have somebody else be like, okay, you sneezed right there. Cut that out. Whoever's editing it, cut it out.
Okay, I'm actually punching up the image of the Time magazine cover that he was on.
That is a thing, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. May 27th, 2024. So this is like just over. No, it's the actual cover. It's on. It's dated May 27th to 2024. So it's not even. It's just over a month old. It says Next Generation Leaders, Chudigatwa, the new face of Doctor Who, plus 10 more trailblazers shaping a brighter future. And he's like in a black kilt and boots.
Okay, no. I just want to pause on what. I'm sorry to interrupt, JB, but I find it curious. He's. I don't know if this is him or if they're marketing him like this, and I'm surprised at how well it works. If it was, I'm not saying that he's like hot and sexy. I mean, I'm not going to say no, but like if instead of Jodie they had like a sexy female and she dressed down, I think that would be totally dumb and just dumb. Just don't get me started. They're not really doing that with him, but still they're trying to exude this sexual energy that the other 14 doctors didn't really have.
Yeah,
and they're perpetrating that with that cover because that's sort of what he wears in that scene in the Goblin episode when he's dancing in the club, right?
Right, he's in a kilt, yes.
I think it's a yellow kilt. I don't remember.
Yeah. Russell T. Davies has basically said that, he's writing a gay show because he doesn't know how to write anything that's not gay.
That might be true.
Well, no, he actually said that. I mean, I don't...
That's bad, though. That's...
Okay, why is that bad, Sean? Tell us why is that bad?
Because, okay, so if you are, and he has written a shit ton of gay stuff. I mean, he created Queer as Folk. There's the show The Cucumber. Is It a Sin? He's like the king or the queen of homosexual fiction in London or in England. Okay, maybe here, I don't know, but I think you could still write science fiction and still not make it about yourself, because science fiction is so much wider. Now, that doesn't mean that if you had an idea a long time ago that you can't bring it to Doctor Who, but I think that the problem is that you just stick it so plainly in the season of the television show you're producing that you're thinking, oh, this is the ultimate. This is going to be the best episode. It's about Sutekh and everybody loves Sutekh. I think that was a presumption that he didn't work with very well. It worked with old man fans like us, of course, but it probably didn't work with New Who fans.
No, who the fuck is Sutekh? And that's why they had to put that Tales from the TARDIS episode. Okay, oh yeah, this is all cha-ching. We got a merchandised iPlayer. We have to cash in on. We basically have to cash in on member berries.
I guess. I mean, it's kind of like I was talking earlier about the Celestial Toymaker, and that conveniently was done right after The Giggle came out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I mean, everything is marketed. I mean, Doctor Who is now, and it has been for like the last few years, it's product. It's not a show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's not written. It's not. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with stories. It's just a fucking product.
Absolutely, because it's not just the show. It's the toys. It's all that other shit. It's the fucking crappy beach towel that your mom gives you for Christmas that she thinks you're going to love. It's Doctor Who magazine. I'm sorry, but Doctor Who magazine is just, it's like, we're going to have Trump magazine and we just happen to be published by Fox News. I have to agree with this, and the show's not going anywhere. And I remember when the season began, I didn't watch the YouTube videos, but they popped up on my feed, if you will.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff about, worst ratings ever, it's going to be canceled. You get these headlines of videos when you go to YouTube.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it was all negative. Yes. And I'm like, I don't want to hear any of that negative. And by the way, I've got to say this, because I forgot about it earlier, but they are in that, I don't know what we're going to call this now, that TARDIS that has all his shit in it.
The memory TARDIS.
The memory TARDIS?
Yeah.
I'm going to say thumbs up to that. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty clever. And I love the shot of Mel caressing the Sixth Doctor's coat. That was so sweet.
That was cute.
That was so cool. And it wasn't overdone. I don't think we had a big, Murray Gold cord at that moment showing us. It was just her doing that thing for 2 seconds. And
but again, we don't know shit about Mel. She said something about she had some family issues or something like that, and the doctor helped her sort it out. Well, we didn't fucking see that, so that doesn't fucking count.
Is that Big Finish, maybe?
I'm not going to spend $40 on a fucking box set to find out what's going on.
I don't think that was a Big Finish thing. I don't recall anything about her. Maybe the novels, maybe.
Who at this point? I don't have the energy to research all of that. It's
no. And
her and Ace both their ultimate fates have been. There's at least 3 or 4 different timelines for each of them on how they fucking went about. And yeah, I don't recall anything with Mel about the doctor helping her with her family.
No.
But that just may be that I missed on the ones that are out there.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up, I guess. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to rate it. I'm not going to rate it.
I don't feel like it either.
No, I don't feel no. Yeah. I just don't.
It happened. We're over it.
We're over it. I don't give a fuck about Mrs. Flood. I don't give a fuck about the Christmas episode coming up, and
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just. I mean, yeah. I'll watch, but I have no. I very much don't. And I'm done with waiting for it to get better, because I've been waiting for the show to get better for over 10 years now.
Yeah, okay.
Since
it's-
Capaldi, at least.
Since I think it started at the tail end of Matt Smith, and then
Yeah,
it just got
yep.
worse and worse and worse. And it's like,
Yep.
I'm done waiting.
One, two,
and
three,
every
over it.
every now and then something almost brings me back into it, and then they fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like the Sutek thing. It's like for a minute there, it's like, oh, I was hard there for a minute.
But but once you bring Sutek out, now what? What are you going to do with Sutek?
What are you going to do with that?
Yeah, nobody.
What the heck
thought of that.
Sutek do, girl?
Because you're going to get fucked by RTD is what you're going to do with that. You're going to be like, oh my god, I can't wait to watch this 45-minute episode about Sutek. No, that's just fucking foreplay for RTD. He's got the lube. He's behind you. He's fucking you the whole time. I got you to watch the whole series. I'm actually thrusting my hips as I'm saying this.
I'm sorry, but I mean, to me, part one was like trying to pick up a woman, and she's got like she. Well, okay, no, I'm not gonna go there.
No, it's like the crying game, is what I say.
Yes.
No, you knew me.
It doesn't
me
have
and
to be
Sean,
a penis. It
Me
could
and
be
Sean
like,
just guzzled the fucking Kool-Aid on
Yes.
episode 1, and we
So
were
stupid.
all ready for it to just be really fucking cool. You knew better.
I knew better.
And then episode 2 dropped, and we all found the fuck out.
Yeah. And that's for me was when I knew that this is it for me. I'm done. I'm done. It's been a hell of a ride. These past it's been going on almost 4 years now that since we were doing this, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I always listen back to like a lot of our past episodes, just if I need a laugh or if I'm feeling kind of anxious, I'll pop one of our episodes up, and I just, it gets me relaxed. It makes me less anxious. This is therapy, not only in recording this and just talking to you guys, but listening back afterwards. It's therapy for me. And I'm really excited about this new podcast that we're going to be working on. We're going to take a bit of a break. I think we're going to take July off, and then we'll get the ball rolling, starting. And
We're going to regenerate.
Yeah, we're going to regenerate, and we're not going to like split or bi-generate or whatever fucking bullshit. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're just going to lie on the floor.
Sean. We might turn Sean into a woman. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
well, yeah, there are 2 men primarily in Inside Number 9.
But I mean, you're the 2 men. You're bringing me in. I don't know what I am in this scenario, but I'm going to be. And like I said, this
A babe in the woods.
I'm not the one to control now. I'm not the one who is kind of the I'm ceding control.
All right, I will put my gloves on in that case and get it all.
We'll be gentle, sweetheart.
Someone needs to show boy what the ropes are.
Oh God! It's not the fucking rope that they tied around Sutek's neck, for fuck's sake.
All right.
I wouldn't do you like that, brother.
Okay, I appreciate that. So everyone, thank you all for those of you who have listened in these past 4 years. Thank you so much for bringing us into your ears. And
Yeah, for real. Thank you for listening.
yeah, and I mean, I wish you would have been more vocal. I wish we would have gotten some actual reviews on iTunes, but you all a bunch of cucks and whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe
Especially you, Jeff, you fuck.
Oh dear God. But it's been real. It really has been real. And we'll be back. One day I'll come back. Yes, I will come back. Until then, there will be no tears, no fears, no anxieties. Just go forth in all your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine. And I can't believe I was able to remember all that
It's okay.
shit.
It's okay.
I'll give you all a proper smacked bottom.
I'm just going to get into my Who Won mobile and drive off into the dusk. Farewell, Joe Grant.
Yeah. Yeah, with a single solitary tear. We were all fantastic.
Carrot juice.
Carrot juice, fucking carrot juice.
So fill up your glasses and join in the song. The Lord's right behind you and it won't take long. So come you coyotes and howl at the moon till there's blood upon the sawdust in the Last Chance Saloon.
Direction point! Direction point!
A Doctor Who podcast network.